heritage of Davis Cup tennis is a storied and proud tradition of international team competition, boasting an honor roll of the sport's greatest names who have played for national pride. Sweden and Germany met in the 1989 final. Marquee names on the courts. Boris Becker taking on Stefan Edberg. It's a Davis Cup Classic next. The Tennis Channel proudly presents a Davis Cup Classic. The 1989 final between Germany and Sweden. Boris Becker and Stefan Edberg from Stuttgart. Ryan Weber with Murphy Jensen, the former French Open doubles champ. Edberg, Wimbledon winner in 1988, but lost to Becker in 1989 in the finals. Becker moving past that victory in London to also take the U.S. Open championship. Murphy, these tennis legends knew each other very well on the court.
Well, they've been playing since they were 14, 15 years old in the Orange Bowl World Championships down in Miami. As far as the European Championships, I mean, juniors all the way here to the pros, 20, 30 matches.
This was their fifth meeting head-to-head in 1989 alone, and just 2 weeks prior to this matchup, in the end of November, they played in the Masters in New York. Edberg taking the event, defeating Becker in the final.
Both of these players are serve and volley players playing on carpet, using pen balls. We want to establish early a serve and volley game that works. Edberg wasting no time, getting to the net, finishing the point out with a nice volley, creating the unforced error by Boris Becker.
German pride, and in the fall of 1989, the wall fell in Berlin. A dynamic time in German history.
These two styles of play. Becker, Boris Becker with the huge forehand, and Stefan Edberg with the amazing backhand. Outside of being serve volleyers, one has the stronger wing on the backhand side and the other stronger wing on the forehand side.
Coming in, this was 21st all-time meeting, 13-8 Becker edge. By the end of their careers, Becker enjoyed a 25-10 advantage.
Look at that volley. Stefan Edberg getting in quick. That's what he's known for, the first serve, first volley play. One of the best backhand volleys in the history of the game. A pure serve and volleyer.
Booming for the winner. And the game to Edberg. Holding serve to start this final tie, rematch of the '88 final that Germany won on Swedish soil in 1989. Becker had just turned 22 in November.
Here is Boom Boom Becker starting it off. Second game. That's a tough place to go to, but Boris has confidence in his athletic ability. Like earlier I was saying, Stefan Edberg is a pure serve and volleyer. Boris Becker's a serve and volleyer, but he's more of an athletic serve and volleyer. You'll see him dive on the court, letting up his knees. Edberg's backhand is his weapon, so you'll see him try to avoid that side of Edberg.
Edberg's affinity to the serve and volley game, a departure from the classic baseline style of Borg and Wielander, and typical tennis.
As a junior player, Stefan Edberg had a two-hand backhand like a Borg, but chose as he grew to switch to a one to give him more reach. And it's paid dividends. It's still his best shot, where Pete Sampras switched to the one-hander, and it gave him more reach, but was also his weak side. The net linesman there, keen on making the right call.
Also using her ear on the net.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times you don't hear it, or might not see it, but you can hear it skim the net. Eventually, we went on to use mechanical devices that would signal and help that linesman out. That's a great play for Boris Becker. First serve, first volley. Here's the serve. A good roundhouse, great knee bend, fully extended. What I like is where he made contact with that ball was well inside the service line.
Becker just 4 years removed from that Wimbledon '85 win. Merely 17 years of age.
You don't too often see two legendary champions playing pretty much on both of their favorite surfaces. A lot of times in Davis Cup, you pick a surface that's going to make the advantage for your team. Stefan Edberg plays great on the carpet, had an amazing career on this type of surface, which favors Becker as well as Edberg.
Game points for Becker. Game Becker, level at 1.
Boris Becker was nicknamed Boom Boom at the age of 17 because of his booming serves. There's the Becker family. Mom and Pop Becker. You'd think they'd have better seats.
Probably should get the unobstructed view.
What's really neat about Boris Becker's family is they come out to his finals, have been to his Wimbledon finals. A lot of parents get nervous. Pete Sampras' family made very few appearances at his matches. But the Beckers always like to come out and support their son.
Edberg from the small Swedish town of Västervik. Started taking lessons at age 7 when he read an ad in a local newspaper saying, come on down with the ad and you get a free lesson. Did not have a tennis racket. Had to be loaned one by the club.
That was a good rental or loan.
With a lunge.
Bringing that Wimbledon championship back to Sweden after the great glory years of Bjorn Borg. Really was huge for Sweden. Sparked a lot of interest for the young guys in Sweden. He had a great tennis federation there.
You talked about the Becker family. For Edberg, his father, a police officer who had to take out loans to pay for some of Stefan's early junior expenses. And in 1983, that paid dividends. Edberg winning all 4 junior slams, and he said, in retrospect, he felt pressure to be #1 from the age of about 16 on.
Playing junior tennis, the expenses you incur are enormous. And in a country like Sweden, you don't have a huge bankroll with your tennis federation. The parents have to really dig deep, make some sacrifices. Where in Germany, there's such a great tradition, but a great feeder system where if you're a good player, a club will sponsor you or help with the expenses to see their players move on. Because once you're a member of the club or playing for a club, you don't necessarily have to be a member, but if you play for a club, you're part of that club forever. Part of their tradition. Edberg with an amazing backhand.
And he's got the game point chance. Serves it out. On serve at the outset. 2-1.